Hi guys, I'm SoulStar. Welcome back to my channel. Today I was guided by spirit to do my throat chakra. My throat chakra, thank you. I can feel my divine masculine throat chakra really opening up and speaking their truth, so it's just affecting me a lot. But I was channeled by spirit to do a collective reading for the messages, the energy messages from the divine masculine to the divine feminine today. I literally just filmed a 30-minute video. I always shuffle my cards on camera, go through the whole thing. You guys see my whole process, but it for some reason didn't record, so I was guided by spirit to do it again, keep the cards that I'd already pulled. So we're going to start off again. Thank you, Spirit. Please help me guide the energy messages with these cards that we pulled already for the divine masculine to the divine feminine today. And so it is. This feels weird doing it again, but obviously my video didn't record, so YOLO, it's a test. So now I feel like none of us divine feminines are going to be surprised by this. The divine masculines have definitely been going through some real deep tower moments still for a lot of them. And this has been happening, I mean, a lot over the last few days and weeks. Now I feel like, I really feel like it's definitely to do with the throat chakra, them actually speaking their truth, realizing their truth within their soul, and basically dropping so many parts of their ego and their pride and, you know, their own controlling issues that they've built up over this life experience to protect themselves, when in reality it's actually been hurting themselves, which I'm sure we all know as divine feminines. We've done so much self-sabotage ourselves, and the divine masculines are really still going through it. It's almost like a back and forth where they'll spend a few hours either actually being okay, whether they're faking it till they make it or not, and then suddenly getting triggered again and again and again, and it's like, why does this keep coming up? I don't want to feel this pain. Oh my gosh. But it's like they're having this massive epiphany. And as I said earlier, I keep getting the vision of some divine masculines. It's like they're almost going to catch themselves in a reflection, like either of a shop window or a mirror. And for a lot of them, I feel like they're going to catch themselves, especially my divine masculine SoulDeep, they're going to catch themselves like in the mirror of their car when they're driving. And even though they're concentrating on something else, it's like they're going to see themselves. They're going to really see their soul. They're going to see you, and they're going to have that big epiphany of, oh my gosh, why have I let it get to this point? Why am I here? What am I doing? What is my purpose? Why do I constantly think about this person? Why do I want to be with them so much? Why did I let it get to this point? I feel like they're gonna still be reliving a lot of some of that mental conflict, but it's like they're gonna have that gigantic epiphany, that penny drop moment, where they realize that, one, this has all been orchestrated for a really great plan, and two, it's like they realize that the way that they've been shaped in this life has created all these, and us as divine feminines, we've had to come into their lives to show them these things about themselves, just like they've come into our lives to show them things about us. As divine feminines, we definitely know. Now, I know we're gonna instantly and have been picking up the tower energy from our divine masculines, but I feel like this is reassuring us that it's like, hey, divine feminines, like, I'm really starting to recognize this whole storyline, this whole journey with us, and I really need to clear out some of these heavy blockages that I've been resisting, because so many of the divine masculines have definitely been resisting actually doing the work, actually continuing to go within, because it's so freaking painful, as we know. But I feel like this is reassuring us divine feminines, like, I'm really jumping on the train. I'm jumping on the love train. That's the message to my masculine SoulDeep. Because every time we'd have an argument from triggering each other, I'd always jump back into my higher love and be like, come on, jump on the love train. There's so much love and abundance here. Let's work through it together. And they were like, no, I'm scared. I'm running away from all these childhood wounds. It feels like the same thing. And it's like, yeah. I feel like it's just reassuring us that this is a great time. I know it's heavy energy, so that sounds so ridiculous. Like, it's super heavy energy, and sometimes I just sit and cry, and I'm just like doing praying and healing and reiki healing for my divine masculine, because I can feel their pain like my own, because as within so without, we are the other half of one soul. But it's a blessing in disguise, because they do have to go through this tower moment, and we know that they have to learn their lessons on their own. And I feel like as divine feminines, we've had to constantly been reassured that, hey, we can't teach them everything we want to teach them just because we've typically been awakened first, just like they can't teach us everything we should know because we have to come into it on our own. And the divine masculines are definitely doing a lot of introspection. Yes, this is also the Virgo card, 100% resonates, because my divine masculine, SoulDeep, I love you baby, is a Virgo as well, so they're in hermit mode a lot. But I feel like divine feminines, we've also been going in hermit mode a lot recently, doing introspection, reflection. Now the divine masculines, I feel like they're doing this introspection, one, obviously because they need it, but two, it feels like a lot of it is going to be clearing out old inner child wounds that they don't or haven't even realized thus far that have been affecting them their whole lives, because we get shaped into who we are from how our experience is as a child. If we've been abused and neglected and abandoned for decades of time, like myself, then I know that I had to deal with so many abandonment issues. I've spent so long having complete clinical depression, multiple suicide attempts, always struggling to deal with my own self-worth, self-love, self-care, because I never felt worthy of anything because I was abused and abandoned and neglected for so long. And then I came across my divine masculine, and then I had to deal with so many codependency issues. And it's like they're going to have those massive penny drop moments, continuing to go within more and more and more each hour, each day, each minute, to realize that, hey, this thing that happened 10 years ago that I haven't thought about in ages has actually been affecting me my whole life. And it's affected the way I treat people, and it's affected the way I've treated the divine feminine. It's like, this is a great card. This is a great card. I feel so much good energy off it, because even though the divine masculines are going to be really going through some heavy turmoil, clearing out these blockages, it needs to happen, because they need to be more balanced. They need to have their chakras cleared. They need to have their blockages cleared, because when they come back to us, divine feminines, they don't want to come back to us with all these issues. They don't want to come back to us and still be controlling in the way that they give and receive love. They don't want to spend time with us on a Sunday and we're all like lovey-dovey and nurturing them, and they're still feeling upset and angry because, I don't know, here's a great example. I was out at a restaurant probably 6-7 months ago now with my divine masculine, and basically, long story short, we ordered food. All of their food came first. My food hadn't arrived yet. Now, me being me, I honestly didn't care. Like, I was just so happy being in the environment, being in the restaurant. I'm one of those people who is like, if you get your food, eat your food before it gets cold. Eat it when it's fresh. Like, I don't feel like I have to sit and wait, politely whilst everyone gets their food. If I was there in a setting with multiple people, okay, cool. But if it's just me one-on-one, my divine masculine, like, it's like, baby, just eat your food. Like, mine will come when it's ready. I didn't care. My divine masculine, they really, 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 really cared. They really cared. They really wanted me to have my food. And they were getting angry and upset that my food hadn't arrived yet. And I was like, no, baby, it's okay. Like, it'll come when it comes. Like, I was actually being patient for once. I was actually being patient for once as an Aquarian. Well done. And basically my divine masculine was asking the waiter, like, hey, where's her food, etc., etc. And they were saying, oh, it's going to come out soon, but we'll take it off your bill because it's taken so long. And I was like, no, it's okay. Like, I'm not even fussed about it. Just bring it out when it's ready. Thinking that I was, being nice to the waiter, so the waiter didn't feel pressured or, feel like we're some angry couple who are like, where's our food? That's the perception I came from. Now, my divine masculine, through their ego and pride, and they got really angry and upset to the point where they stormed off to the bathroom, and I didn't realize they stormed off to the bathroom because of this. I thought they went just to the bathroom, and when they came back, they were super angry, they were super upset, and they basically felt I mean, I think the word they used was emasculated. They basically felt emasculated because they had tried to do something nice for me by asking where my food's at, and I was like, no, 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 it's okay. Now, even though I did it literally like that, like, no, 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 it's okay, I'm not worried about the food. I literally said it like that. You can see how somebody, a divine masculine with inner child wounds, who one as embodying the masculine energy, because once again it's about the energy, not the gender, embodying the masculine energy for their whole lives, they've always been taught to not speak their truth. They've always been dismissed when they've tried to do, you know, nice or romantic things or emotional things. And from the inner child wounds, a lot of them have been abused, neglected, abandoned, always been quieted down, shushed. So it was like my divine masculine came back. They were so angry and upset at me because they felt like I had dismissed them. And once again, that's partly from their ego, but it's definitely the inner child wounds, because I know myself, as within so without, the reflection, I know myself when people have dismissed me, like if I've cried or even shown that I'm even slightly upset or emotional, and people have been like, oh, don't cry, oh, no, 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 don't do that, don't do that. And it's like, even though in one perception I know that they would just be doing that because they feel like that's going to help me to keep me strong, in reality it's killed me and hurt me and added to my depression and added to my lack of self-worth, because of all the inner child wounds that I hadn't healed, because I'd always been abused and neglected and abandoned. So anytime somebody would shut me down like that, it would hurt so much, like I'd been stabbed in the heart again and again. And I'd always be like, why couldn't anyone ever listen to me? Why can't anyone ever just let me cry or be upset? And I realized after a long time, my divine masculine felt the same. When I was just so casually nonchalant, like, oh, no, 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 it's okay, you don't have to worry about the food, they instantly felt like they'd been dismissed, like they'd been shut down again. And I feel like the divine masculines, they're really going through this introspection, this hermit mode, to really deal with a lot of their inner child wounds, the core parts of why they've had so many blockages accepting and receiving this love from the world, from their divine feminine, from themselves, because they're realizing how much their childhood has really, really affected them, which as twin flames, we know our childhood, we've gone through some horrific things. It really has affected us so much, and we've had to go on this sometimes traumatic journey in order to heal all of these wounds, in order to clear out these blockages, in order to have the understanding, the knowing, to raise our conscious awareness of where we've been, where we've come from, why we've been the way we've been, and how we can progress into a more profound, higher love, higher consciousness, to raise the vibration within ourselves and the collective. And I'm feeling this so heavily, the inner child wounds. I really feel like the divine masculines are really, really, really clearing it out. And I feel like it's a message to the divine feminines, like reassuring them, like they know that these experiences as a child and in their younger years have caused these blockages. And it's almost like divine feminines, like, please just hold on, just be patient. I know why I've been the way I've been. I know why I've been retreating. I know why I've been in hermit mode for so long. I know why I've said harsh words to you. I know why I've felt dismissed. I know this. I'm just clearing out the rest of the baggage so that when I come back to you, I can really be open to receiving this love and giving this love to you in the way that you deserve, divine feminine, because you deserve the world. You're the love of my life. I'm really hearing that message clearly, and I feel like I'm going to cry. I feel like the divine masculines, I'm trying not to cry, the energy's so heavy. I feel like the divine masculines are really, they're really stepping into their knowing. I'm sorry if I'm going to cry, guys. I really feel like the divine masculines are really stepping into their knowing. They know that we're the one for them. They know that we're part of their mission. They know that they can connect to this higher love. They know that we've both come into each other's lives for reasons, at the right time, at the right place, saying the great words, saying the harsh words, having the bad arguments, having all the triggers that we have created in this illusion to mirror each other, to actually deal with all this, basically just everything we've suppressed for so long. They really know they really know that they can create the life that they want, and that they have to be open to receive love and not be so controlling in the way they receive it and give it, because they know that for the divine feminines, the love of their lives, they know they want to be able to give you the world, and they want to be able to receive the world from you. Because I know for a lot of us divine feminines, the divine masculines have really been closed off a lot of the time emotionally. Like my divine masculine SoulDeep, I knew that they loved me probably 8 months before they ever said it. And even though I'd bring it up in conversation, like, you'd only do that if you loved me, baby. Like, no, you can't say that, because you would only say that if you loved me and you're in love with me. But then they'd always deny it. They'd always deny it out of their own protection, because of all the inner child wounds that they still hadn't dealt with. They were always protecting themselves. So I feel like a lot of the divine masculines, after going through this deep, deep tower moment, all this introspection, they're going to start connecting with themselves more, opening and receiving to the love from spirit, but not just spirit, like their whole environment, like even their interactions with their family and close friends. I feel like all those cliche, almost like fake, almost like, it's not fake conversations, but like the divine masculines who are really close with their family, which a lot of them are, all those conversations that they typically have with their family and friends who they're not necessarily on the same wavelength, or they don't necessarily have that great rapport that they look forward to every time, but they do it because they're family or they're close friends, and they only ever get past or get to a certain level. I feel like the divine masculines are finally going to start opening up and realizing, hey, I need to be open to receive love and an emotional deep connection with the world, with my environment, with spirit, with everyone. And I feel like the divine masculines are going to finally start opening up and having those deep, connected, more soulful experiences and conversations with their family and friends, as well as with themselves and with their divine feminine in the 5D, especially in the 5D, spiritually connecting with themselves and us divine feminines more and more each time. And I feel like they're going to finally start to come to that balance of giving and receiving love naturally, no longer resisting, from going from this tower moment and doing all this introspection and clearing out all these inner child wounds. And I really feel like they're going to come to that 0 point. You see the 0 there? Oh, love it. They're going to come to that 0 point, like complete, utter, like rebirth, transformation, stepping into this energy, knowing, like stepping into their knowing like going through all this work was to help them change their perception, change their ideals, change the way they see how relationships are supposed to work, how partnerships are supposed to work, how love is. All these crazy misperceptions they've had from growing up in their environment, from dealing with all their inner child wounds, from being abandoned and abused from their family members. A lot of these divine masculines have had parents, that basically haven't existed in their lives, especially the fathers. A lot of the divine masculines haven't grown up with their father, or they have all this resentment to their fathers, especially, and even some closed off, and I say closed off, resentment to their mothers and their like other females that they've grown up around. And it's like they're finally becoming aware that actually I have been having this perception the whole time because of this experience I saw my mum go through when I was 12 years old, and it has shaped the way that I've seen relationships, and it has shaped the way that I've viewed the feminine energy and my divine feminine. And I feel like they're finally stepping into their knowing. They're realizing that they can change their perception and ideals, that they can have everything they want, and that they are coming forth towards us, and they're balancing out themselves more, and they're realizing the divine feminine has basically shown them the way, guided them the way, and they know that in turn they've shown us the way and guided us the way. And there's a quote, oh, I don't know if I remember it off by heart. Now, don't listen to this and think about the genders, because once again, it's not about genders, it's about the masculine and feminine energy. I'm pretty sure the quote is, I'm pretty sure the quote is, maybe he needed her to show him how to love, and maybe she needed him to show her how to live. And I really feel like for the divine masculines and divine feminines, I feel like that quote is so on point with us, because I know for myself, embodying I mean, being the divine feminine, granted we have both energies within us and it's all about balance, but I feel like being the divine feminine, my divine masculine SoulDeep, they have definitely shown me how to live. I mean, I could go on and on about countless encounters of how I know they've shown me how to live, how to actually step out of my comfort zone, how to actually be the change I want to see in the world, even though I was doing so much to do that already. But it's like, after always feeling like an outsider, after always feeling like I'm not good enough, after always never connecting with somebody on such a profound level, and then meeting my divine masculine, the love of my life, they've constantly encouraged me and nudged me to look within myself and see what I am capable of and see my worth. Even though sometimes, obviously going through this journey, sometimes it's like, why is my divine masculine not here yet? Do they not see what I see? Oh my gosh, I see all the worth in them. Why can't they see the worth in me? But obviously, that was nothing to do with my divine masculine. That was just a reflection I was projecting out to them because I still haven't healed my inner child wounds. So as within, so without, as above, so below. Thank you, Archangel Michael. And I love this card. I feel like the divine masculines are finally stepping in to their power, to their knowing. They're embodying that beautiful king energy. And when I see this card, I literally just see my divine masculine's face and I'm just like, my gosh, you are so sexy stepping into your power. Yes, you go divine masculines. Woo woo. I freaking love it. I'm sure you divine feminines watching are just gonna be like, when you think about your divine masculine stepping fully into their power, into their king energy, you just can't help but feel like, oh my gosh, the sexual energy is so intense through this Kundalini awakening too. But my gosh, it's like you're just so much more in love with them, and you just see how just like sexy and powerful they are. And that's what you want. You don't want your divine masculine to come back to you when they still have all these really, really deep rooted blockages, because then you're just going to go through the same karmic cycle again. You want your divine masculine to go through all this work that, yes, a lot of the time they do have to go off and be by themselves. I just saw 22:22 on the clock. Thank you, Spirit, to flame signs. You want your divine masculine to come in this king energy, to become the emperor, to become their greatest version, to connect with their higher selves, with the higher love. And it's like the divine masculines are fully stepping into their power, and they're reassuring the divine feminines like, hey, I really do see you. I see this connection. I know what you are to me. I know what I am to you. I'm gone through all this work so I can actually become the person I'm here to be for you, for the world, for the collective, for my mission. And I'm coming forth, and now I'm standing in my power, and I know that it's literally just about coming into alignment. And I feel like for a lot of the divine masculines, once they've worked through all of this harsh energy and started being able to open up and receive love and changing their perceptions and ideals and just stepping into their knowing as the emperor, it's like they just know that they're coming to you, divine feminine, in the best way that they possibly can. And I know for us divine feminines, we really have had to learn patience and unconditional love. And I feel like for a lot of the divine masculines, they're stepping into their power, and it's almost like they know they've had to do this to get to this point, but for some of them it feels like they're still going to be waiting on a sign before they actually come forth, like the chariot, like they're waiting on that sign from spirit. But they've done all this work, all this soul work, clearing out all these blockages, knowing who you are, knowing their worth, knowing their love, knowing what they've had to go through, knowing what you've had to go through, because they know that you're a reflection of them and vice versa. And I love the fact that this has come out. There's so many glitches. I keep seeing orbs. I can definitely feel my divine masculine around me. Oh, thank you, baby. But I love that the divine masculines are really stepping into their power, and they're reassuring us divine feminines like, you are the empress too. You reflect me. I reflect you. I've had to go through this lesson. Yes, you may have awakened first, but baby, I am coming. I am stepping into my power. I am going to be the greatest version of myself to help the world, to help my mission to help you, to build with you, to be in this partnership with you, because feminines, we want to be in an amazing partnership with an emperor. We want to be with the emperor. We don't want to be with our divine masculines when they're still have all these blockages to clear out, and then still be the ones who are like trying to control the lessons that they're learning and being like, oh baby, if you do this, then you can feel like this. Because in reality, they've had to go through this by themselves, and as painful as it has been in this illusion of separation, we are never alone. You are always in union with your divine counterpart in the 5D. And yes, I know the physical sometimes can really be harsh, but it's all about connecting with the higher love, our higher selves, going within. And I love the fact that divine masculines are finally stepping into their power, because this is a beautiful thing, guys. It really, really is. And I know it's a reflection of us as well, divine feminines. We've been really, really stepping into our power, stepping into our mission. And it's like our divine masculines are finally catching up, and they're reassuring us like, hey, baby, I can feel your energy. I know you're working hard on yourself. I know you're working hard on your mission. And you know what? I can see your worth. I can see my worth. And I'm stepping into my mission and my power too. And I feel like union is right around the corner for so many of us. But of course, the most important thing is union within yourself. And I love the fact that divine masculines are going through all of this work, and they're finally coming into complete union with themselves and stepping into their power, because this is wonderful. And at the end of the day, this whole journey is about the higher love, unconditional love, and wanting each other to just be as happy as we can be. And I am so happy to know that so many of the divine masculines are going to be fully stepping into their power, because it's just like, you can't get happier than that. Or you can. The only other happier would be once you're in full union, like in the 3D. But it's just so amazing to like see the transformation. Like the transformation is just so beautiful. Yeah, and for the divine masculines, I have the beautiful candle burning bright with lots of positivity and light, clearing out your solar plexus chakra again. I love you all so much. Sorry if I got a bit emotional. I definitely feel like I want to cry a little bit. Happy tears. But I do have lyrics that I want to share with you. My personal journey with my divine masculine, SoulDeep, I love you so much, baby, you're the love of my life. They've been showing me this song by Bryson Tiller, Right My Wrongs, a lot, and I feel like it's not just from them. I feel like it's from a lot of the divine masculines to the divine feminines. And the lyrics that keep standing out to me, which I will put the song in the description so you guys can hear it, in case you don't know that song by Bryson Tiller. But the lyrics that I keep hearing, and I feel like it's such a clear message from the divine masculines to the divine feminines. I feel like going through all of this, do you know what, I feel like it's even this, going through all of this, I feel like it just resonates so heavily. So the lyrics are, if I remember correctly, what is it? Girl, you don't need nobody else. It feels like you ain't got me, so it feels like you've been by yourself. I've been feeling kind of down myself. I've been going through it as well. I guess time will only tell, but it feels like I haven't got any left. If there's something I should know, please tell me, how can I right my wrongs? With you is where I belong. And I've been feeling that message come through so strongly through that song for the collective, the divine masculines, just letting you feminines know they recognize you, they recognize the journey, they know everything that they've put you through, that you've put them through, why everything's happened the way it's happened, and they know that they have to continue doing the work. They have to clear out all these blockages, all these inner child wounds, all this trauma, not just from this life, from all the past lives. They know that the way they've grown up has shaped their perception. And they're finally starting to change their perception and their ideals on what love is, on what relationships, partnerships are. Connecting with themselves, connecting with the higher love, their higher selves, and fully stepping into this king energy. And it's just such a beautiful transformation, guys. So I just want to pass on those messages to the beautiful divine feminines who have needed to, hear confirmation from their divine masculines of what they're going through, because sometimes in this physical illusion it really is hard to sometimes stay in that faith and stay in that knowing, like, do they think about me as much as I think about them? Yes, you're thinking about them 24/7. Trust me, your divine masculine is thinking about you 24/7. Just keep connecting within yourself, keep connecting with the higher love, with spirit, and I really feel like so much of the telepathy is getting stronger between us twins. So if you haven't experienced yet, I feel like you're going to start